You think you are free, but a quiet script has been running your life since before you were born. The lines were written by people you never chose, your parents, their parents, the storms they never faced. If you don't confront this now, you will spend the rest of your days acting out decisions that were never yours. You feel it most when you lose your temper and it feels like someone else took over your mouth. You feel it when you swallow your needs again, because conflict terrifies you, even though you think you are a grown adult. You feel it in the late night scrolling, the numbness, the sense that you are living on autopilot. You tell yourself it is just stress, just bad luck, just this season. But seasons have changed and the drift remains. If you ignore this, the past will keep driving your car while you convince yourself your hands are on the wheel. This is not superstition, it is inheritance. Pain travels until someone agrees to feel it fully. If you do not feel it, you pass it on. If you do nothing now, you will repeat the same fight with your partner in 10 more kitchens under 10 more lights. If you do nothing now, your son will learn your silence like a second language, and your daughter will learn to tiptoe around moods like landmines. If you do nothing now, you will become the very example you promised you would never be. You already know this in your body. The clenched jaw is a sentence from an old courtroom where you were not allowed to speak. The tight chest is a door you were taught to keep closed because feelings were dangerous in that house. Listen carefully. You are not broken. You are carrying things that were never named. They echo until someone turns and faces the echo and says, "I hear you." Carl Jung once said that what remains unconscious controls your life, and you will call it fate. You have felt the hand of fate on your shoulder every time you thought, "Here we go again." Fate is not a god. It is a habit you did not choose. Let me tell you a story. Imagine you inherit an old house you did not know your family owned. The house is beautiful, but many doors are locked and you do not have the keys. You move in with the optimism of a new beginning. The first night you hear footsteps in the locked rooms and laughter that isn't friendly.
You tell yourself it's the wind.
Weeks pass.
Every time you try to relax, the house hums with low voices you pretend not to hear.
That hum becomes a constant fog around your decisions. In the kitchen, you spill water and explode at the sound. You wonder, why am I this angry over nothing? The house answers with a distant knock from behind a locked door. You bring friends over and change the subject when the air turns strange. You laugh loudly when silence presses in. You swear the house is fine. One evening, the power flickers. In the brief darkness, you see silhouettes in the hall wearing old coats you recognize but have never worn. They turn away when light returns. You decide to stop pretending. You bring a candle and sit at the door of the loudest room. You say, "I'm listening." The air changes. The house becomes very still, like it's holding its breath. You notice a loose floorboard shaped like a handle. You pull it up and find a small metal box. Inside is a key and a note you cannot read anymore because time erased the ink. You do not need the words. You need the key. You unlock the first room. There is a crib and a cracked window. Cold air moves through as if no one opened these curtains for decades. You do not look away. You feel sadness like a tide rising. You say, "I see you now." As you move room to room, the house changes. The voices do not leave, but they stop controlling the temperature you live in. You begin to set the climate yourself. This is the work. Your life is the house. The locked rooms are the stories your family never told. Your grandfather's losses, your mother's fear, your father's silence, your aunt's rage. These are not your failures. They are rooms. You can open them and let the air move. Maybe you carry a legacy of control. Maybe every man in your line tightened the world around him like a fist because that is how he survived. That fist is not your home. Maybe you carry a legacy of vanishing. Perhaps people in your family learned to disappear before the argument started. Disappearing is not peace. It is exile. Maybe you carry addictions disguised as rituals. Maybe your family's holidays were celebrations and hangovers mixed into one long apology. You don't need that apology anymore. Why are you living this? Because the body remembers what the mind denies. Because your nervous system learned rhythms to survive long before you learned words. Because what no one could speak, someone had to carry. Another reason, loyalty. The most loyal part of you stayed faithful to the family by repeating their pain. You confused suffering with belonging. Jung noticed that what is not healed in one generation returns in the next as an opportunity. It is not punishment, it is an invitation. It knocks until someone answers. Consider this: if you have been controlled by invisible patterns, what else could be true that you do not see yet? What choices have you dismissed as impossible because your line never tried them? What would it cost you to discover your real range? Do you notice how you tense when your phone rings? Do you notice how you get smaller in the presence of loud people? Do you notice how you need to win every debate to feel safe? These are the doorways. Not to shame you, but to free you. You cannot fix what you refuse to notice. There is also grief. You wanted a different childhood. You wanted mentors who could hold your questions without folding into fear. You did not get that, but you can build it now. The truth is hard. If you do not do this work, you will continue to be controlled by people who are not even alive anymore. They will pull your strings from photographs in dusty frames. They will steer your reactions even when your mind wants something else. Now, come closer to the heart of the story. In the basement of the house, there is a rope tied to a heavy wheel. The rope runs upstairs through the walls, attached to bells in every room. When the rope moves, every bell rings. That rope is the old pattern. That rope is the way your body learned to brace for danger. That rope can be untied, but not by force. You think you need to cut the rope, destroy the bells, prove you are strong. But violence against the past is still a relationship with it. What you need is understanding and steady hands. So the character, you, goes to the basement and sits with the wheel. He breathes until his heart slows. He places both hands on the rope and says quietly, "I will learn your rhythm." At first, the rope fights back. The bells clang wildly in the rooms above. Memories rush like cold water down the spine. He does not run. He feels shame rise. He feels anger that is not his. He notices the urge to blame his parents and to be done with it. He chooses something harder, staying. He stays with the rope and breathes. The bells begin to follow his breath. They soften. He starts to understand when the bells will ring before they ring. He learns the system. It is at this moment he realizes something radical. The house is not haunted. The house is trying to finish a story. That story moves through him because he finally has the strength to bring it to an end. He goes upstairs and opens the windows. He walks through each room, touching what was abandoned. He says out loud the names no one said. He cries when he needs to. By nightfall, the house has a new sound, quiet, without fear. He sleeps in dreams of a river running clean. In the morning, the bells are just bells. This story is yours if you choose it. The past arrives in you so it can finally change in you. That is the why. Now, we shift from story to action. Enough allegory. Here is what you can do now to break the line of misery and reclaim your freedom. Step 1. Identify the repeating pattern without judgment. Ask yourself, what keeps happening to me that feels older than me? Write a simple sentence. In my family, we often underscore when underscore. Create a family map on one page. Draw circles for people, lines for connections, and mark the big events: losses, addictions, divorces, illnesses, relocations, wars. Look for echoes across generations. If your father controlled every decision, notice who controlled him. If your mother overworked, notice who depended on that overwork before her. Patterns rarely start with your parents. They travel to them too. Step 2. Build a language for your body's alarms. Set a timer 3 times a day and ask, where do I feel tightness right now? Name it in simple words: jaw, throat, chest, stomach, hips. No analysis, just location. Breathe into that spot slowly for 1 minute, extending the exhale. You are teaching your nervous system that you are safe enough to feel. Do not rush this. This is your rope and your bells. Step 3. Break secrecy without breaking yourself. Speak the unspeakable to a trusted witness. One person who can listen without fixing you. This could be a therapist, a wise friend, or a group dedicated to honest conversation. If that is not possible today, start by recording a voice memo to yourself. Tell the truth in full sentences for 3 minutes. Play it back and listen as if you were your own mentor. Step 4. Write an unsent letter to the ancestor whose pattern you carry most. Start with "Here's what I took on for you," and continue with "Here's what I am giving back." Do not send it. You are not punishing anyone. You are returning weight. After writing, perform a small, private ritual. Burn the letter safely, or bury it beneath a tree, or place it in a river and watch it drift. Speak aloud. I honor your survival. I choose a different life. Step 5. Set one boundary that directly contradicts the pattern. If the curse is control, your boundary might be, I will not take orders spoken in anger. If the curse is vanishing, your boundary might be, I will say what I feel even if my voice shakes. Write the boundary as a short script you can use when tense. For example, I want to keep talking, but I will pause this conversation if voices rise, or I can help on Saturday between 10 and 12, not earlier, not later. Practice it aloud until it belongs to you. Step 6. Reparent yourself daily. Each morning ask, what would a strong, kind guide want for me today? Then give yourself one act of care and one act of courage. Care could be a walk without your phone. Courage could be making a call you've avoided. In the evening, review the day gently. Ask, where did I repeat the past, and where did I choose the present? Celebrate the smallest true departure from the old pattern as a victory. Step 7. Replace the family myth with a personal principle. If the old myth is people will leave if you are honest, your new principle might be, I tell the truth and let real connection find me. Repeat it while you walk, breathe, and lift. Step 8. Design one weekly practice that proves your freedom. Move money in a way your family never did. Save differently, invest in education, or donate where it matters. Or move your body in a way no one in your line tried. Martial arts, dance, hiking alone at dawn. Step 9. Seek a brotherhood or circle that honors sovereignty. Join a group where men and women speak truth, not perform toughness. Your isolation keeps the pattern alive. Community exposes it to air. When you meet resistance, and you will, remember this: the rope jerks hardest just before it loosens. Expect old alarms to sound. They are not signs you are failing, they are signs you are changing. What about your parents? Do you confront them? Do you forgive? You are not required to create a conflict to heal, nor required to create contact where none is safe. Your primary duty is to stop the pattern in your own nervous system. If you choose to talk, prepare a statement of responsibility. I'm working on my reactions. I'm learning where they came from. I won't blame, but I will be doing things differently. Let your actions demonstrate your new rules. If contact is not safe, send your respect across distance. Light a small candle and speak the truth to the air. There is no need for the other person to understand in order for your body to release. You may ask, what if my partner doesn't change? You cannot control anyone else's rope. But your steadiness will reveal what is possible and what is not, faster. You will stop wasting years waiting for someone to guess what you need. A word on children. Tell them the story in a way that fits their age. In our family, people sometimes got scared and tried to control everything. I'm learning another way. Then show them your practice. They will believe what you do more than what you say. As you change, you will grieve the years lost to the old story. Let yourself mourn. Grief is not a setback. It is the release of what you carried alone. You will also feel anger. Use it as fuel for boundaries and focus, not as a weapon against your past. Anger can be the hand that closes the gate to trespass. Let's get even more practical. Here is a 7-day trial to jumpstart your freedom. Day 1. Name the pattern, write the unsent letter, and breathe for 10 minutes with one hand on the place that tightens most. Day 2. Map your family history in one page. Circle 3 major events you think altered how love was shown. Sit with each one and imagine you were there as a calm witness. Note what you feel, not what you think. Day 3. Choose one boundary and practice your sentence aloud 10 times. Then call or meet someone and use it once in a real conversation, kindly but firmly. Day 4, Ritual Day. Burn or bury your letter. Touch the earth with your hands. Say your vow. It ends with me. Breathe until you believe it. Day 5, Act of Care and Act of Courage. Move your body for 30 minutes with attention and do one hard administrative task you've avoided. You are proving to yourself that you can choose. Day 6, Community. Reach out to someone you trust and share one paragraph of your story. Ask them to witness, not fix. If you have no one yet, record yourself again and listen. Day 7, Vision. Write 3 sentences describing the kind of ancestor you choose to become. Who is free because you did this work? How will they live? Speak these sentences at sunrise. After 1 week, you will not be done, but you will no longer be owned by the rope. You will have proof that your hands can learn a new rhythm. There will be setbacks. That's fine. Train yourself to say, of course this is hard, and then return to breath, body, boundary. Simplicity wins where drama fails. A crucial warning: do not turn healing into another control project. Your goal is not to dominate your feelings, but to relate to them. You are not a machine to be optimized. You are a person to be liberated. You might notice dreams changing. Pay attention. Sometimes the house speaks in images when words are tired. Keep a small note by your bed to capture a feeling from a dream before it fades. If a dream repeats, ask, what simple action in my waking life does this dream request? Then do a small version of that action within 24 hours. Give your psyche evidence that you received the message. Another practical tool, a trigger protocol. When you feel the surge, do 3 things in order. Name it out loud, say I'm safe right now, and physically step back or sit down. This interrupts the old choreography. Follow with 2 breaths longer on the exhale than the inhale. Then ask one question. What do I want to do on purpose? Choose the smallest purposeful action. Another tool. If control is your family curse, practice delegation in a small way. Ask someone you trust to handle a task start to finish, and do not interfere. Notice the discomfort and let it pass. If vanishing is your curse, practice being seen on purpose. Share one honest sentence about your inner state in a conversation, even if it feels like too much. You are teaching your nervous system that visibility can be safe. If anger is your curse, give it form without harm. Hit a heavy bag, go for a hard run, or shout into a pillow in your car. Move the heat and then decide. If people-pleasing is your curse, practice disappointing someone kindly. Say no once a day in a low-stakes scenario. Each small no is a vote for your freedom. If numbness is your curse, schedule 5 minutes of sensation. Hold ice, take a hot shower, or stand barefoot in grass. Remind your body that it can feel. You are not doing this alone. Whether your ancestors are alive or gone, many of them wanted better and could not achieve it. Let your efforts honor their attempts. Let your success be a gift back in their name. Keep a symbol on you. A small stone, a ring, a braided cord, to remind you of your vow. When you touch it, you remember, I am the end of this line and the beginning of another. Expect pushback. Some people benefit when you stay predictable. When you stop performing the old role, they may accuse you of being selfish or dramatic. Do not fall for it. Respond calmly, I care about you, and I'm doing things differently now. Then follow through. The boundary is only real when you enforce it. Measure progress with new questions. Not did I fix everything, but did I choose one thing today on purpose? Not am I healed, but am I a little freer than last month? If you fear becoming your father or mother, understand this. Fear alone will make you rigid and reactive. Respect your lineage, learn its lessons, and then step right when it demands you step left. Here is a final, deeper practice for the next 30 days. Each night, write one paragraph that begins with, today, the old pattern tried to do X, and I chose Y. Keep the paragraph simple and honest. At the end of 30 days, read them all. You will see a map of your freedom. Some days will be messy. Some will be clean. All will be yours. One more thing, create a personal rite of initiation. This does not need to be grand. Hike a trail before dawn and speak your vow at the summit. Sit by a river at midnight and speak your vow to the water. Mark the shift in your bones. Your vow can be as simple as this: I take responsibility for the life I can shape. I release what I carried for others. I choose freedom. Repeat it until you feel the floor of your life change by a centimeter. When you forget, and you will, come back to 3 anchors: breath, boundary, belonging without performing. These are the opposite of control. These build real strength. Imagine your grandchildren. Imagine their shoulders lower by default. Imagine them laughing freely because someone long before them, someone like you, learned to open windows in the old house. This is why you do the hard thing now. This ends the false choice between loyalty and freedom. True loyalty to your line is to stop handing down pain. True freedom is not abandoning your people. It is refusing to make them your prison. You are not cursed. You are called. The difference is what you do next. Remember the house. Remember the rope and the bells. Remember that your hands can learn what your ancestors could not practice. If you do not do this, you will keep being controlled by patterns that never cared about your soul. You will be a landlord collecting rent for the past. And you will leave the keys under the mat for the next tenants, your children. But if you do this, if you face it, name it, breathe through it, and act, you will become the ancestor who started a different story. People after you will feel safe without knowing why. They will thank you without knowing your name. So here is your assignment for tonight. Pick one step. Just one. The letter, the boundary, the breath, the call. Do it before you sleep. Then sleep knowing you moved the rope by a millimeter. That is how entire houses change. That is how rivers run clear again. Tomorrow, repeat a different step. Slow is fast. One choice at a time reshapes a lineage. You came here for freedom. Freedom is not a feeling. It is a practice. Start now and do not stop when it gets loud. There will be days you want to quit. On those days, speak this to yourself: I am not alone in this work. The future stands with me, and the past is ready to rest. Then take one breath longer than the last. 1 year from now, you will look back and barely recognize the person who woke up to the sound of bells and thought they were fate. You will hear bells and know they are just bells. The house is yours. When the fear of being controlled tries to return, picture your hands on the rope, steady. Picture the windows open. Picture your children or your future self walking through rooms filled with air and light. Let that image lead you. You no longer need permission. You needed a plan and a promise. Now you have both. If you do this work, you will become the calm center others orbit without being consumed by their storms. You will be the end of the curse and the start of a legacy. That is your task. Take the key, open the door, and step into your life. I will be here, reminding you when you forget. Breathe. Set the boundary. Belong to yourself. Continue.